Alright, so for this video, we are going to work on myofascial release for the calves. You will need a myofascial ball and also a block. If you do not have a block at home, you can use any flat surface that will help elevate the leg a little bit. So let's make our way there. You'll begin by getting one block. We're going to place it long ways underneath the calf. And then the ball is going to go in the middle portion of your calf. So basically where my sock is, we're avoiding that lower portion of the calf. And we're going right into the middle area. So that's where we're going to place the ball. And then the opposite leg is going to be planted on the floor. Hands are going to come behind your back. And we're just going to roll back and forth along the muscle here. Just moving forward and back an inch or so. Rolling out through the midpoint of the calf here. And then once you've found an area that's a bit tender, you don't want to go with anything too intense. Find a nice medium pressure there. And then all we're going to do is flex the foot, so pull the toes back. And then point the toes. And continue on for about 2 or 3 more. And you'll start to feel the muscle flow over the ball here. We're just creating more movement throughout those muscle fibers. Let's do one more. Flex the foot and point the foot. And then just bring the foot back to neutral. Now we're going to move the ball towards the outer portion of the calf. So right on the outside of the leg here. And again, staying like the middle of the calf. We're just going to roll forward and back an inch or 2, find another spot. We're trigger pointing here, so finding a sweet spot that helps. Once you've found a good spot, same thing, we're going to pause, press a bit more weight into the ball, and then flex and point the foot. So toes pull back, ooh, that was a tough one, and then point forward. 2 more times, so flex the toes back, and forward. If at any point you are at a spot that is too tense, you're welcome to move the ball. You know your body best, so do what you're capable of. And then we're going to move towards the inner portion of our calf. So sliding the ball on in, instead of being on the outside of the leg, we're now taking it towards the inside of the leg, again, still staying right in that midpoint. And we're going to roll forward and back here. This is a nice way just to release any sort of tension, especially if you're on your feet all day, or if you're doing any sort of physical activity. Your calves get super tense. This is a nice way to help roll it on out. And again, once you've found a spot there in the inner portion of that mid-calf, we're now going to flex and point the foot again. And take one more, keeping the torso nice and tall as well. And we'll pause there. Release that for a moment. You may need to slide the block up now. We're going to go into the upper portion of the calf here. So that meaty portion right underneath the knee, but we're not going behind the knee. So you're going to find that meaty portion of the calf, set the ball right in the middle of it, and we're now going to go side to side here. Just exploring, noticing what's happening in the back of the leg. And let's start to rock forward and back slightly as well. So just moving the hips forward and back to help with that. And then again, once you've found a sweet spot, we're going to pause there. I'll give you a few options with this one, so you can either take that flex and point again, if that's what feels best. If you do want to add a little bit of pressure on this one, we're going to take our left ankle, cross it over the right, and then the more you lean forward, the more pressure is going to be put onto that ball. If this is too intense leaning forward and crossing the leg, you can lean back and just hold. We're here for another 3 deep breaths. Inhale. And exhale, exaggerating the leg being heavy. 2 more, inhale. Exhale, let it go. Last one, inhale. And exhale, let it go. Now we're going to move the hips. So we're actually going to press our hands into the mat, lift your hips up, move them to the left side. And now we're taking the ball to the outer portion of that upper calf. So we're not in the middle anymore, we're right underneath the knee. And we're going to roll forward and back here. There's a lot of juicy spots here. And again, once you've found a good one, we're going to pause there. And we'll work that shearing motion first. So flexing the toes back and then pointing the toes forward. Helping to create a bit of movement through those fascial layers. And glide over each other. And again, once you've found a good spot, you can hold there, continue working that flex and point. If you want to add a bit more pressure, you can cross the ankle on top. Maybe lean forward. I know for me on this one, I cannot lean forward, so just be mindful of what your body's telling you. We hold for 3, for 2. Last one. If the leg is crossed over, we'll uncross now, and then shift your hips back through the center, and then we'll slightly move the hips over to the right side of the mat this time. So you're now targeting the inner upper calf. If you need to readjust the ball or block, you're welcome to do that as well. And let's roll forward and back here along that inner portion. Again, once you've found a sweet spot, we pause, take that flexing point. The muscle roll over the ball here, nice and slow to feel what's happening underneath the layers of the skin on a muscular level. And then again, pause here. You can work that flexing point again or cross ankle on top of ankle, adding a bit more pressure. 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale to soften. Again, inhale. Exhale, let go. Inhale. And exhale, release. Let's begin to uncross that left leg. Move forward, hands off the floor. We're going to move the ball and the block off to the side. Now, just before we switch sides, lower both legs down. We're going to take a forward fold here. With an inhale, we're going to sweep the arms up. And then on your exhale, begin to fold forward. And just begin to notice from that right side compared to the left what the differences are. Does that right side feel a bit more flat, more heated and open compared to the left side? And just noticing the experience all the way up the back of the leg as well. Maybe the hamstrings feel more open, or you're feeling a bit of release into your low back. Whatever your experience is, just trying to tune in a bit more. And then when you're ready, we'll walk our way back up and switch sides. All right, so let's take the block underneath our left calf this time. We're now going to take the ball there as well. And again, we're avoiding that bottom third of the calf. We want to go into that the middle third. So we're starting right through the midpoint of the calf. Right foot is going to be bent, hands are going to be behind you. We'll start to roll forward and back here. And right away on this side, it may be a completely different experience, just noticing what's happening. And then once you've found a sweet spot, we hold and start that flex and point motion. The left toes flex back, and then point them forward. We'll take 2 more. And again, we want a medium pressure here. If it is way too intense, you're welcome to move the ball an inch up or down, depending on how the pressure varies. And then when you're ready, we're going to move towards the outer portion of that mid-calf. So the ball's kind of peeking out over that left side. And again, we're just going to roll forward and back here, working our pressure point. Again, right on the outer portion of the leg, there's a lot of good points there to help release through the soleus and gastrocnemius. Those are your 2 calf muscles. And pausing there, let's flex and point the foot. Make sure you found a good spot, medium pressure, nothing too intense. And then once you've completed that last flexing point, let's pause there for a moment. Full breath in. Cleansing breath out. 1 more, inhale. And exhale, let it go. Now moving the ball to the inner portion of the mid-calf. You may actually need to readjust it and bring it right towards the inside there. Once you have that, we roll up and down, staying in that mid-calf area, not rolling too high. And then once you've had that, we're going to pause. Flexing and pointing the toe once again, we pull the toes back, and then point the toes forward. Let's take 2 more, so nice flex. Really pull the toes back as much as you can, and point them forward. Last one, flex, and point. Just letting the foot be heavy here. Let's take another full breath in. Cleansing breath out. One more, inhale. And exhale, let it go. All right, now making our way towards the upper calf now. So you might need to readjust the ball and block. You can slide it a bit further up. Again, we don't want to go behind the knee here. We're right underneath behind the knee into that meaty portion of the calf. Keeping your right foot planted, we're going to begin to roll forward and back here, working the tension through the upper calf. And again, once you've found a good spot here, maybe begin to flex and point the toes. You can stay working on this. If you want a bit more pressure, this is when we add the ankle on top. So right ankle over the left. If you want more body weight, we shift forward to add more pressure. You know, for me, that's not happening on this side. So again, just be mindful of what you can do. This may look different every single day, depending on what your body's done for you within that day. Let's take another 30 breaths. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale. Exhale, let it go. Last one, inhale. Exhale, let it go. Uncross the right leg, plant the foot down. Now we're going to find a part on the outer portion of the upper calf. And again, just start to explore here. You can roll up and down, you can move side to side. Just make sure the ball is staying right on the outer portion. There's a lot of good points here. Got a muscle popping over the ball. That is completely normal if you're experiencing that as well. This area is quite tense. So once you arrive at a good point, again, you can work that flex and point 3 times forward and back. If you would like to add more pressure after the flex and point, we're going to cross that right ankle when you're ready. Getting to cross right ankle over left. If you're adding more pressure, we stay. If you want to lean forward, you can go right ahead. Completely up to you. Full breath in. Cleansing breath out. One more, inhale. And exhale, let it go. Uncross your right foot, and we'll take this right to the inner portion now. You can move the ball in, or you could actually just shift your hips over, depending on how you want to target that area and what feels best for you. Let's start to roll forward and back. And again, just make sure it's not right underneath the knee, or behind the knee, sorry. Make sure it's right under the knee. And then once you've found a good spot, we'll pause. Medium compression here, nothing too intense. We flex and point. And again, feeling the layers of fascia gliding over each other, creating more hydration through those layers and through your muscle tissue. And then we'll pause there. If you're adding more pressure, last time, cross the ankle. If you want to lean forward, you are more than welcome to. We'll take a nice full breath in. Cleansing breath out. Inhale. Exhale, let it go. Last one, inhale. And exhale, let it go. Uncross the legs. We'll remove our props off to the side and finish off with one more forward fold just to see how the sides balance out. When you're ready, lengthen out those legs. Arms sweep up with an inhale. On your exhale, fold forward, release the hands, release the head, and pause here for 5 breaths. The toes can be rolling up to either side. They don't have to be flexed or pointed. Just take a few more breaths, noticing how that left side feels compared to the right. And begin to walk it back in. And that concludes your video for today. Hope that helped. Release some tension. Enjoy.